We're making 3 more templates today, 34, 35, and 36. Hello, everyone, and welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. I'm so glad that you're here. Today, we are adding 3 brand new templates to our collection. We are on volume 11 of Creativity Made Simple. We have made this many templates so far. I use templates all the time when I want to use a stamp set but don't know what to do with it, or I'm just like stuck in my creativity. I just pull out a template and replace every element in the template with the stamps, ink, and paper that I have that I want to use. On the back are the measurements, so it just makes it so quick and easy to make gorgeous cards. I'm going to be sharing all the measurements for the templates right here in this video, so start and stop them to get what you need. There are 11 volumes of this now, so if you missed any of them, you can go back and rewatch those videos. For details on the written tutorial that has the template labels and instructions for 6 different cards that you can make, that information is on my blog. All right, let's get started. Now, for all the templates that we make, we just use a card-based representative. So this is 5.5 by 4.25. But when you go to make your card, you're obviously going to want it to open. But just to save paper and to save space, we're going to build our templates on these pieces of cardstock. The first layer for this card is 3 3/4 by 5. Then your next layer is 4 by 5.25. But we're going to do something with this layer. Get out your paper trimmer and put your piece in here, and we're going to cut it diagonally at a crisscross. And this is easy to do. You just line up the point in the cutting trough of your paper trimmer, and then take your other finger and put it on the point, the opposite point, and just rotate that right into the cutting trough there. I like to well, I just moved it. I like to stab it right in the middle, and then I push it up and push it down. That's going to prevent my little corners from getting squished, especially if you're using something thinner like designer series paper. Now here's the trick. Hold this together, rotate it so that you put the other points in your cutting trough. There we go. And then just cut it like that. Now you have these 4 pieces that look so cool. Now, when you put these on your card base, you are going to just line them up with that layer underneath, trying to make sure they're all equidistant. And I'm not gluing these in yet. I'm going to test them first to make sure they're going to, I mean, they are going to fit perfectly, but to make sure I don't make a mistake like lining them up. And then, whoops, and then once I have it where I want it, I'm going to slide just 1 piece off, put glue on it, and stick it back in. Actually, we'll just go ahead and do that. No, wait, I wanted to show you something first. Anyway, you can you glue it in, and that way this piece is straight and equidistant, and then you can put in all the other pieces. But I didn't want to glue that together because I wanted to show you with this, when you go to actually make cards with this template, what you're going to do is with this layer, you can use a couple 2 pieces of cardstock or 4 different colors of cardstock, so that you're going to cut your pieces so that they intermix. So you could use a piece of designer series paper and a piece of cardstock. You could emboss different layers to just get so many cool textures. So that is just a really, this is just a really great design for just using all kinds of different pieces. Okay, give me a moment to put this back together. Okay, now to finish out this template, you're just going to place a circle right there in the center. And that is a 2-inch circle. Now this template can be used horizontally also. If you end up getting the tutorial, this is free for my customers this month that spend $50, free to my team members. In the template, you will see the different ways to use the template horizontally and vertically and get all the measurements and stuff for that. You'll also get this on the back. Make sure to cut these out. We'll do that real quick, and you can label the back of your templates. So you can write all these measurements on the back of your templates, or you can cut these out. You can cut them out with scissors or with your paper trimmer. It just makes it really easy to make cards with your templates later if you've got all the measurements right there on the back. So now glue all your pieces together and put that right there on the back. That way you don't have to look up the tutorial afterwards. It's just right there. Okay, so this is the example card. Jackie made this card, and you can see that she used 2 different colors of cardstock and then embossed those layers. You could also change those out for designer series paper, like I said before. But what is cool about this is that you're gonna automatically get multiples when you make this card if you do different colors of cardstocks or designer series paper, because you're gonna cut one out in green and you're gonna cut one out in blue. That means you're gonna have 8 pieces. So you just switch them out. So like these are the blue ones and these are the green ones. Well, then your other card will be green and blue. So this is a quick way to make multiples. Check out the inside of this card. This is a gift card holder. All of the examples that I'm showing you today are made with the Encircled with Love set, which is so fun, so easy to use. They're all circles that can be cut out with either the new 1 7/8 inch punch or the 2-inch punch. For template 35, grab the same piece of paper, 5.5 by 4 1/4. Our next layer is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Then another layer on top of that is 3 3/4 by 5. The next layers are these little strips. So this one is a 1/2 inch wide by 5, and these two are 3 3/4 inch long by 1/4 inch. Now, I'm not gluing that down for a reason, because there are a couple ways that you can use this template. One is to not measure these at all. Just dig through your scraps. If you like a piece, the width of a piece, before gluing down this layer, like let's say it's like longer than your piece of paper, glue it down, flip it over, and trim it off. That way, if you don't feel like measuring, that's just a good way to use your scraps. Now, if you do like to measure, I've got a tip for you on that. Actually, let's go ahead and glue these pieces down. So this layer here can be just a regular cardstock layer. This layer could be a different color cardstock. You could emboss this layer or use designer series paper. You can see that just has just a nice thin border on there. So if you're doing the no measure way, don't glue that layer down until you have glued this on it and trimmed it off. But we're gonna measure these. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this down, and then I'll show you how to cut. Just a tip for cutting those. Holy cow, I just got glue like everywhere. Okay, that's fine. So this kind of just reminded me of like a present. And you can do whatever you want with these little pieces. Maybe you want the little pieces going the other way or whatever. I don't know, just perfect. It's a perfect cross section for adding in our circle to finish that off. This is a 2-inch circle. So a tip, especially for cutting these really narrow ones, I take a scrap of paper, and then whatever the longest part of this is, which these little small ones are 3 3/4. I don't know why I didn't glue that down. Let me just glue that down. That way I won't lose it. There we go. I'm also gonna glue on my label on the back here so I don't lose that either. There we go. Okay, so these little strips are 3 3/4. So I'm gonna take my scrap of paper and I'm gonna cut it at 3 3/4. Well, that's not gonna work right there, but that's okay, because we just need 2 little tiny ones. Now from here, I've got this bigger piece of paper to handle. So when I go to cut those 1/4 inch pieces, man, I can just push it in and not have to like fuss with little tiny strips of paper. That's my hack for cutting little tiny strips of paper. All right, let me show you the cards I made with this one. Like I said, you can use designer series paper in the back. And isn't that just the perfect like little nesting place for your circle punch? And out of this stamp set, this stamp was my absolute favorite. I love it. Plus, I love sending thank you cards. And then here's the inside. Kind of bring that strip design to the inside of the card. Now, like I've said before, you can use these templates in the other direction. So check out this card. So I rotated it, then I just moved this down. Well, you can see that you just rotate it the other way. However you're gonna use it to create just a cool card. Now you can replace these lines with designer series paper. You could even use ribbon in place of that using that same design. So far our templates each have a 2-inch circle, and shocker, the next one will too. And I've got a tip for using a punch. Instead of trying to like fit it on like a little piece of paper, although this works, I always like to use a longer strip, and I always like to not waste paper. So I cut a strip, like this is my 2-inch circle. So I cut this strip at 2 1/4. So you've just got a little margin on either side. And with a long strip like this, you're able to maneuver it really well with your hand on this side and pull it through and just get the most use of your paper. I don't know, that's just my handy tip. So let's make template 36, and then I have some more ideas for changing up these templates. So remember, this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. This layer is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. This layer is 3 3/4 by 5. Then we've got 2 strips here. One is just a little wider than the other, and they go on top of each other. This one is 1 1/8 by 5, and they're gonna fit right on top of this layer. And then this one is 1 by 5, and it just lays right on top of there. So you got this nice layered look with this great line here without having to deal with the tiny, tiny strip of paper. Now we're going to use our 2-inch circle, but then we're going to layer it with another, this is a 2 1/8 inch circle, which is just going to really set it off there. So glue that all together. I already got one done, and put your label on the back there. Let me show you this template in action. This is Heidi's card. It's so gorgeous. You can see all these different layers. I love how the circle has a layer behind it there. In the tutorial, there's also other example cards of the template being used that way, and all the directions for making that. I'm loving this volume of templates. I love that they all have the same size circle, but I wanted to show you that you can easily switch this out for a different size circle, whether it is larger, whether it is smaller, whether you want to layer them on top of each other. You can really switch this out to use with so many stamp sets. Now these were all punched. So if you like punches, Stampin' Up! Has these different sizes of circles right now. But you could also grab yourself a die set. This is the Stylish Shapes. Look at all these different size circles that have that beautiful edging around there. You can, I mean, that's ginormous, but you can see that you could kind of use that on your card. But look at all the different shapes, different sizes of circles that you have that can be layered on top. So I just want to show you what those look like using a different size circle. But these designs are so like timeless, you can even use them with the squares, whether you are cutting these out with your paper trimmer or cutting them with a die cut like this Stylish Shapes. You can see that that totally works. Here's a smaller one, just kind of giving you an idea what those look like. Just use what you have, what is going to work with your stamp set. Use these templates as a jumping off point for your creativity on how to use your own stamps, ink, and paper. I almost forgot to show you, you don't have to use just circles and squares. Check out what it looks like, these designs look like with this kind of punch. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, that is the to the point. This one is the modern oval. This one's gonna be a little harder to see because that circle's in the way, but look how good that works. And then this is the heartfelt hexagon, which I mean, looks awesome. See how those would work? So just have fun playing with different shapes, punches, dies, whatever. I put out a new card making video every Friday, so I will see you here next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.